Okay, good morning, everyone. Today is the last one, last week for this spring quarter. Okay, so we will study for ninth week. The title is the programming for adult education. How to programming for specified education area, that is adult education. So today we will review for adult education, and then last few minutes I will guide for you the future of adult education. Okay, so as you see in the screen, the social cohesion. Last week we to review the how to incorporate different cultures, the intercultural quotient, something CQ. So today, how to cohesion. Cohesion means relation, good relationship. So social cohesion is combination and rely on the basic formula. Also, the assimilation can read the social conflict and the resistance from minority groups who feel marginalized or oppressed. So social cohesion versus social conflict. Integration promotes social cohesion by fostering mutual respect and understanding among diverse cultural groups. The other one is equality. Wait. Yeah, the social cohesion. And the other concept is equality and opportunity, assimilation between the equality and opportunities. May perpetuate inequalities by prioritizing the dominant culture and marginalizing minority groups. This is assimilation. And integration, right? Okay. So the between equality and opportunities, integration strives for means is endeavor, is effort. Equal opportunities for all country groups. Also promoting inclusivity and social justice is the some inclusivity means making sure everyone feels welcome, valued, and respected, no matter who they are, where they come from. This is for inclusivity. So inclusivity is very important concept for adult education and different cultures. Say again, inclusivity means making sure everyone feels welcome, valued, and respect, no matter who they are or where they come from. This is inclusivity. Okay, so let's continue to case studying assimilation and integration in practice. To better understand for you the practice implication of its assimilation and integration, let's examine two cases. One is United States and India. The United States become a melting spot. So United States has long been described as a melting spot, where various immigrant groups assimilate into the dominant American cultures. While this approach has led to the relatively cohesive nation diversity identity, it has also sparked debate about the loss of cultural diversity and the marginalization of minority groups. For example, Native American communities has faced significant challenges in perceiving their cultural heritage in the face of assimilation policies. There are some problems or issues in the United States, but it's okay for melting spot in the United States. The other example is India. India is a unity in diversity. India, on the other hand, embraced the concept of unity in diversity. The country recognizes and celebrates its cultural diversity, promoting integration through policies, protect linguistic and cultural rights. For example, India has 22 officially recognized languages and numerous cultural festivals that reflect its pluralistic ethos. There are 22 languages in India, officially. This approach has fostered a sense of national pride while allowing various cultural groups to maintain their distinct identities. So India is not follow the melting spot. They accept and recognize the 22 different languages. So they accept unity in diversity. So social cohesion is also same in the cooperation for the common goods and trust, and inclusive identity. Inclusive means wide open, as I said. So this is intergroups cooperations, social trust, and group identity is need to social cohesion. Social cohesion means social comprehension, social contact person. Also, cultural integration. What's the meaning of the cultural integration? So as a societies become increasingly globalized, as we know, the globalized. The debate between the assimilation and the integration continues to evolve. So modern perspective largely forever favor integration, emphasizing the importance of cultural diversity and equal opportunities. There are some emerging trends and considerations. Okay, so cultural integration means is this show that the cultures are complex, or rather than series of unrelated traits. This is cultural integration. Also, cultures form integrated systems in which part it together casually. All cultural aspects are functionally interdependence on other hands. For example, changing one element requires according change in others. Also, to understand one facet of cultures, geographers must study the barriers in other facets and how they are casually interrelated and integrated. This is cultural integration. Let's move. One of the pictures is very short to you understand for reference. Most merger integration challenges. Merger is combined. There are short to 10 mergers. First, expand customer base. And the M&A as a preferred growth strategy, M&A. And extend the geographic reach, and enter new lines of businesses. Lack of value capture realization, and also corporate cultural alignment, and portfolios rationalization, and rapid and effective knowledge transfer, post-merger integration. And the last is integration, team, resources, constraints. These things, cultural integration. As I said, is globalization and cultural exchange. The globalization has facilitated the cultural exchange and interaction on the unprecedented scale. This is globalization. This connectionedness has highlighted the value of cultural diversity and the need for inclusive policies that promote integration rather than assimilation. This is different globalization and cultural exchanges. What's the meaning of globalization? The spread of the flow of financial products, goods, technology, information, and jobs across the national borders and cultures. This is globalization, as you know that. So, especially in economic parts, the globalization in economics, which one? Trade and transaction. Also migration and movement of people. Also dissemination of knowledge. Also capital and investment movement. There are many kinds of investment each country. This is globalization in economics. This is a special example. At the other hand, the cultural exchange. What's the meaning of cultural exchange? One of the most public ways that the people express their identities is through their appearance. These expressions are mindful and deliberate. It means we choose to look certain ways and engage in specific arts because we believe they reflect used to world. So this is for cultural exchange and identity. So let's move to another concept, is education. What's the role of the education? So education plays a crucial role in the promoting integration and cultural understanding. Multicultural education programs can help students appreciate and respect diverse cultural perspectives. Fostering means is feeding, and more exclusive society. This is for the role of the education, especially adult education. The picture says your understanding easily. So important of education. What is education? The basic question. Education is the systematically process of acquiring knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes. Education extends beyond the formal instructions, encompassing self-directed learning and experience. Through the educations, individuals are equipped to contribute meaningfully to society and adapt to change. So if some guys get the education and then the individuals are equipped to contribute to the society. Also the very meaningfully society and changes to adapt. This lifelong journey shapes both personal and societal development. This is very issues and important for impact for social education. Why is the important education? there are 5 reasons in there. Empowers individuals to achieve personal and social goals through the education. Drives economic growth through skilled labor, because education is for their skills, improved skills and technology. You're getting more money, getting more easy to get a job. Fosters critical thinking and informed decision making. It means decision making is many procedure. Last time I talked to you, getting information and data and mixing and evaluated and get the goals. This series is decision making. How to rational decision make through the education. And cultivated moral values and cultural understanding. So in the education, through the education, most people understand and accept the cultivate moral values and the cultural understanding of others. Also in colleges, innovation and problem-solving abilities, because I knows or I see or I contact the education and then I can innovate it. Also, more ability to problem solve. This is education importance. Let's move to importance of education is summarized as the process of learning and knowing. So education is some kind of processing of learning and knowing. Also not restricted to our schools, not restricted, widely open. Also continues through our life. It is related very closely our life. Events happening around us educated us. Existence of human beings is fruitless without education. If we don't have the education, we are no fruits. An educated person has the ability to change the world. This is important. Why the world is developed depends on the education. Assured of making the right moves. Assured, right there. So education is very important example. Also, 5 important pillars of value-based education. Value-based. Last time I talked to you, value is very famous word in my life. So the pillars is to some foundation. First, value-based education is character development. How do you develop your characters? Only through the education. Value-based education teaches one how to analyze the situation and find the solution to the problem in the right way. How do we solve the issues and problems? This is character development through the education. Second pillar is health education. Being fit mentally with the help of meditation, breathing, exercise, and more is important in the long run. Health education, as you know, I'm very healthy. How to? Because through the value-based education. Also, skill development. Emotionally, social, and communication skills are important if you want to convey your message to the world. So, through the value-based education, you can get the skill development. And next is a personal development, personality. It helps the students realize their passion and pushes them to follow their goals. It is for personality development through the education. And the final pillars is environmental education. So value-based education enables students to explore such issues and take essential measures to stop them. It means if I get some value-based education and then I improve the environment. That is the 5 pillars of education. Let me show you another law of education in the Indian society. It's a special case, so that's why I get it in the example. Moderation in India society, synthesizing cultural and scientific value, promoting international understanding, developing economics growth, developing circular outlooks, developing democratic values, promoting social and natural integration, and the last, establishing socialistic pattern of society. Finally, the education has some law for establish the socialistic patterns of society. This is for role of education. And let's move to policy implication. Policy implication part is also very powerful for assimilation and integration practice. So government has policymakers must consider the long-term implication of assimilation versus integration. Because government and policymakers is considered that the long-term plan. The policies that promote cultural diversity, equal opportunities, and social justice are essential for building cohesive and harmonious society. So this is the policy implications. Immediate action needs to resolve social tension or social issues, social problems. So reassert the government primary economic laws as provider, facilitator, regulator. Why? To ensure fair and open level playing field exists. Care for the underprivileged groups. This is for policy implications. So that's why there are salad bowl and salad theory and salad theory bowl. So last week we will review this one. So briefly, last week we will review that, this one, before the time, the assimilation and the integration represents two distinct approaches to managing cultural diversity within a society. There are assimilation and integration. While assimilation seeks to create homogeneous cultures open to the expenses of minority identities, integration values and preserves cultural differences, promoting mutual respect and social cohesion. As we move towards a more globalized world, the principle of pluralism and cultural diversity will continue to shape our societies, also fostering a more inclusive and harmonious futures. There are examples. Last week we reviewed the salad bowl and melting bowl. Just briefly, I remind again for salad bowl theory. Salad bowl theory. According to the salad bowl theory, there are times when newly arrived immigrants do not lose the unique aspect of their cultures, like in the melting pot models. Instead, they retain them. Unique characteristic of each cultures are still identifiable within the larger American society. Much like the immigrants in the South are still identifiable, yet contribute to the overall makes up the salad board. It is this theory that also accounts for the retention of the something American. Hypernations, when identifying cultural identity. This theory is also referred to pluralism. So Chinese, Indian, Italian, Mexican, American mix. But it's still there, keep their own characteristics. So retain native language, for example. Continue to dress according to your cultures. No particular regarding for American culture, holiday, social practice. Also very public displays of native cultures. This is salad bowl theory. Salad bowl theory is that keep language, Chinatown, little Italy, something. This is example. Those melting pot theory versus salad bowl theories in the United States is a little different. Last week, I'll show you this one. And let's move to why cultural diversity matters. Why? So cultural diversity can lead to problems like discrimination, but it has many benefits, even if there are discrimination and problems. It can actually help reduce discriminations as opposed to the flourishing. Empathy and commitments to respect must be present. That's what we see. And mere proximity to different culture may improve discrimination based on unfamiliarity. But as it is clear from the United States and its long history of cultural diversity, closeness alone is not to significantly reduce discrimination. When proximity is matched with respect and celebration, different cultures benefit greatly from one another's perspectives, skills, and values. There are unity in the shared community to learning and connecting. So, cultural diversity is also important for the economy. According to research, the cultural diversity in the workplace, there are more improved innovation and productivity. So cultural diversity also improve the productivity and the innovation in the different cultural base. So it shows that why cultural diversity matters. The best way to achieve excellence is through diversity. As you know, in the United States, very push the diversity. Become a culturally competent. How to? Institutions need to provide professional development opportunities so that faculty and staff become culturally competent. Socialists must understand that the science is social conduct. Science is not neutral to cultural diversity. Science is not neutral to cultural diversity. Cultural diversity matters. Very important. Okay. So, and let's move to supporting cultural diversity. How to we support the cultural diversity? So For example, to recognize and respect other cultures, celebrations, traditions, beliefs, etc. We recognize and respect their own cultures, celebration style, and tradition style, belief style, especially religions. Also, the other support for cultural diversities, work to preserve disappearing language. So there are many different languages in the world, but they are coming in here, especially in, for example, the Philippine Tagalog, and some very specified word, their own countries. But they are coming in immigrants in here in the United States, but the supporting cultural diversity aspect, they don't lose their own language. Also consume media, books, movies, music from other cultures. Nowadays, very powerful using the social networks. So consume media and stand against cultural discrimination. How do we stand against? Stand against discrimination. Beware of how societies often force people to assimilate. Beware of that. Encourage learning about other cultures. Encourage for that, for respect, and widely open to learn. That is encourage. Example. Let people from other cultures speak for themselves. That is for various language communication. So the other issues is how to we overcoming the language barriers. This is for barriers in language problem, that is communication barriers. Language, emotional, physical, cultural, psychologically barriers in communication. The other example is the barriers to communication, language barriers, systematic barriers, cultural barriers, individual barriers, organizational barriers, physical barriers, attitudinal barriers, emotional barriers is, for example, for language barriers. And this is language barriers definition. The language is the set of the symbols shared by the community that function to communicate the meaning and experience. So also language respects unique properties of cultures. And language can also create communication problems, especially when it comes to translation and language choice. This is a language barrier. How to overcoming the barriers to communication. So how do we get the effective communication? First, we're using the simple word, very simple word, only word, not sentencing. Proper body language. We can use the body language style, something. Cultural sensitivity. We can use the style, something. And checking for understanding. You know what I'm saying? And you can understand, or something like that. And seeking participation. Okay, I engaged and participate, come together. Effective questions. If I don't know that, question and conversation. And summarizing what has been said. Because there are many long sentences, and then I can understand, and then let me ask it to summarizing papers, summarizing, please, something like that. Also, the connecting to the audience. It means it's conversation individual. These samples is how we get the effective communication thing. So summarize the other pictures is that how to overcome communication barriers. So active listening, this cultural sensitivity, clear and concise language, empathy, feedback mechanism, non-verbal communication, adaptation, technology utilization. These things is how to overcome the communication barrier. This is not using the only one item. They are mix it and then can understand and overcome the communication barriers. So language barriers can pose significant challenges to effective communication. However, with the right strategies and tools, you can bridge these gaps and foster meaningful connections. Very difficult. This author says 5 suggestions overcoming language barriers. Learn basic phrase. Even if you don't speak the language fluently, learning a few basic phrases like greetings, thank you, and excuse me, I'm sorry. The kind of words can go a long way in the showing respect and the building the rapport. It means learn basic phrases. An example, if you are traveling to Italy, learning basic Italian phrase go like the bronziolo, that is good morning. And the thank you meaning is grazie, thank you. And prego work, or something like that. This can enhance your interaction with the local. This is an example. So learn basic phrase. Second overcoming method is speak slowly and clearly. Speaks very slow and clear. When communication with someone who speaks different language, speak slowly and clearly, using simple words and short sentences. Avoid using slang or idioms that might be difficult to understand, as you know. Example, instead of saying, I'm feeling under the weather, I'm feeling under the weather. No. Say, I am not feeling well. The idiom is, I'm feeling under the weather, because it's I'm not good feeling. But it directly says, stay slowly and clearly. I'm not feeling well, I'm not feeling good. Also, the other overcoming method is use non-verbal communication. It's very important, non-verbal. Non-verbal cues like gesture, facial expression, and body language can play a crucial role in conveying meaning when there are language barriers. So useful body language, non-verbal communication. For example, if you are trying to explain that they are hungry, you can use hands gestures to mumming, eating, or point to your stomach. I'm hungry. That's it, using non-verbal. That's another. Also, the other method is utilize technology. Technology can be a powerful tool for overcoming language barriers. Translation apps, online dictionaries, and the language learning platform can be facilitated communication and enhance understanding. As you know, in the phone is real-time translate using technology. Very powerful. And the last method for overcoming the language barriers is to be patient and understanding. Be patient means is waiting and patient and waiting for answers or good communication. Communicating with someone who speaks different language can require the extra patience and understanding. Extra patience, extra understanding. Allow for pause and repetitions and be willing to rephrase or simplify your language if needed. For example, if someone is struggling to understand you, try replaces your sentence using simple words or break it down into smaller parts. So be patient, and understanding is also very powerful method for overcoming the language barriers. And let's move to the what is cross-cultural communication. Additional strategies for effective cross-cultural communication. What kind of strategies for overcome additional effective communication between cross-cultural? So it can be defined as a dialogue or any kind of interaction between people of different nationalities. This is for cross-cultural communication. The other step is, what kind of factors affecting cross-cultural communication? First, interpretation of time, interpretation of space. Interpretation is accept to understand them. Interpretation, time, space, and then nonverbal communication, and automatically cross-cultural communication. So also the other pictures is strategy for effective cross-cultural communication. So in the cross-cultural communication is between the people, is different country, different cultures. Ask questions, distinguish perspectives, build self-awareness, recognize the complexity, avoid stereotyping, respect differences, very important, very issues there. But respect differences. Listen actively, be honest, be flexible, think twice. These things is cross-cultural communication methodology. So this is for additional strategy for effective cross-cultural communication. Summarizes that the 5 factors. First, embrace acting listening. For example, someone is telling you about their family tradition. Actively listen by making eye contact, nodding your head, and asking follow-up questions to show your interest and engagement. Second factor is be mindful of honors, humorous, and seek common grounds, and be respectful and open-minded. Seek feedback. These things is another additional strategy for effective. Okay. So last, I would like to say that the future of education, this is final answer. We have to learn lifelong actions, lifelong learning. So lifelong learning is a form of self-initiated education that is focused on personal development. So personalized and modular learning, or the things is for adult education expand the role is automatically developed. So the future of the education, adult education is expanding role of employers in adult education is a special part. So I think is your mind have to lifelong education, lifelong learning. There are many methods, VR or AR, using the technology. So online system or digital device, most thing is very powerful learning system. Okay, that's all for future of adult education. Thanks for coming, enjoying the class this spring quarter for how we make the programming for adult education. So we review education and adult education things. Anyway, you guys have enjoyed this class for 10-week program, and hopefully next week we will see you again. Thanks for joining, and see you.